televangelist and fundamentalist radio host Brian Fisher has roughly 13 people who listen to him. But the group he's affiliated with, the American Family Association, unfortunately has quite a bit of sway over the Republican Party and over the president. So he has a brilliant legal theory for us about the Constitution and who gets to run for office and who doesn't. Let's take a look.
So I'm an evangelical Christian, and I'm worried about the future of religious liberty. I feel an obligation to defend Sikhs and to defend Muslims on why we believe in principled pluralism in America. And so you can't have people running for office. And again, I don't know the particulars of what Moore has said, but as it's been reported, you can't have people running for office saying that being a Muslim would be a disqualification for being in Congress. The Constitution is pretty clear about not having religious litmus tests.
Now, Ben Sass, I'm sorry to say, is just uninformed about this, as are most Americans, as are most lawyers, as are most legal professors, because the Constitution in Article 6 does prohibit a religious test for federal office. This is exactly true. But what people do not understand is that what the founders meant by religion specifically was Christianity. What Joseph Story said in his monumental commentaries on the Constitution, in the First Amendment, Congress was dealing only with Christianity. So for them, religion was Christianity. So when it says there can be no religious test in Article 6, you can't have a Christian religious test that everybody has to pass in order to be eligible for federal office. It doesn't say a single solitary thing about Islam because the Congress wasn't even dealing with the topic of Islam when they were putting the Constitution together. And I believe Muslims can and should be excluded from Congress for the same reason that communists can and should be and legally are, because they believe in a totalitarian system, totalitarian ideology.
Wow, there's a lot to say about that. First of all, you don't. You are a rigid Christian fundamentalist. You believe in a totalitarian ideology. You believe in religious law. You believe in Christian Sharia. Of course, we have a secular government, and we're not supposed to have religious law. But look at how convenient his argument is. Oh, when they say freedom of religion, what they mean is freedom of religion that are only the religion I believe in. So, in other words, freedom of religion means the opposite. When the founders say freedom of religion, they mean not the freedom of religion. Is anybody buying this? No, nobody's buying this, which is why when you led up to your point, you laid out an accurate statement. You said, yeah, most legal scholars and most professors and most Americans disagree with this. That's right, and they're correct, and you're wrong. It doesn't say, he says that according to the Constitution, it's you have freedom of religion, you cannot establish a religion, but they're only referring to, you can't have like a Christian religious test for office. So in other words, yeah, Christians can get elected in the different denomination. Don't test among them. That's the point he's making. But of course you can reject Buddhists and Hindus and Muslims, and you should reject them. That's what he's saying. But it doesn't say that in the Constitution. You just made that up. You made that up. You want only Christians elected to office. You don't care what denomination of Christian they are. So you say, well, freedom of religion just means freedom of which kind of Christian you are. Stop making shit up. Stop making shit up. But look, it goes to show you he's such a fucking hypocrite because he really does believe in religious law. He believes in Christian Sharia. And he's like, well, obviously we can't have Muslims in power because they believe in Sharia. Brian Fisher doesn't even realize how much he agrees with fundamentalist Muslims. Okay, but what's funny is under his ideology, guys like Keith Ellison, go away. You're wrong. You're 100% wrong. We're not even going to let you run for office. Well, then stop pretending you believe in freedom. Stop pretending that you believe in the Constitution, because you don't. You don't believe in the Constitution. You don't believe in freedom. You don't believe in liberty. You don't believe in justice. You believe in a totalitarian system, a dictatorial system, a Christian Sharia system, and a system where you get to determine and micromanage everybody's life, and you determine who gets to run for office and who doesn't get to run for office based on your personal preference.